Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Matt Sherwood with Sherwood Spine and Sport. Today we're going to be going over a great hip exercise to try to work on and increase our hip external rotation. So external rotation of the hip is where simply it could be just this figure 4 motion here. Another way of looking at it is if we keep this leg planted. When we rotate our pelvis away from the planted leg, that requires external rotation of that hip on that side. So right off the bat, we can think of many activities during our everyday lives where we would require or desire ample external rotation of the hip. So how about if we're just gonna put on shoes and socks in the morning, sit on the edge of bed, be able to cross here. I'm sure some of you have noticed for a long time that you're able to do that on one side much better than the other side. So that would be an indicator that you have poor external rotation on that one side. This is actually of paramount importance in the golf swing, but it's gonna more specifically affect our backswing. So for a right-handed golfer, our left leg, so the lead leg, ideally we would like to see about 40 degrees of external rotation in that lead hip. So if we don't get that 40 degrees, we have less than that, we're limited in external rotation. Sometimes what will happen is we'll rotate to get into the backswing, we'll hit a block, and then we might shift our pelvis or slide away from the ball. And what happens in that situation, among other things, is it'll increase the angulation of this back hip, and that can create our impingement, pain in the groin that we spoke about in our previous videos. So we want to make sure that the external rotation of that hip, specifically of the lead leg for golfers, is ideally 40 degrees or a little bit more than that. So anytime someone comes in the office, they're having groin pain, maybe they feel a little bit limited in the backswing, low back pain, anything of that sort, we're gonna screen this motion. And then in addition to our spinal adjustments for our low back, our mid back, our pelvis, our hips, ankles, feet, so on and so forth, we're gonna make sure that we give this next exercise I'm gonna show you. If we're able to do it, there's a couple other ones, but this is usually my go-to exercise. I actually went over this exercise in one of the sciatica videos because I feel so strongly about it. So a quick way to check and see if this might be limited on you, that takes kind of our ankles and knees and things out of it. If we just sit, ideally we'd have something that isn't rolling around here, but if we sit, and then we don't lift our thigh, but we try to just rotate the leg and get the heel over to that opposite shin. And then we switch and we try the other side. You might notice one side is tighter or it's just harder to get it over there. And that's how you would tell that you might have a little bit of deficiency with external rotation. So let's go over that exercise next. All right, everyone, so we're gonna go over our pigeon stretch, but then we're just gonna do a modification on it to get more of a strengthening component out of those posterior hip muscles. So we're always gonna start in this quadruped position here. Whichever leg we're stretching, we're gonna bring to the front, okay? So I will show you my right side in this example. So I'm gonna bring my right knee up. We want it usually lined up with the shoulder. We don't have to be completely torqued with that hip there. It doesn't have to be a figure 4. We just need the knee up, whatever's comfortable. We're gonna walk the back foot back so we sit into that back hip. We wanna make sure, like I said before, this knee's lined up ideally with the shoulder. We don't want it across the front of the body too much because that can impinge the hip a little bit. We sit back till we get a nice stretch in the back of the hip. Once we're in this position, if it's very tight, you simply can hold this for about a minute. That's perfectly acceptable. If you want to add more of a challenging strength component to it, what we're going to do is we're going to push that knee and shin down into the ground. Minimal pressure on the hands because we want to make sure our hip is doing the work. We're going to lift up, usually to about 9. So this is perpendicular to the ground. And then we're going slowly back into our lengthening position. And then we repeat. So we push and go up, and then we go back. And it should be a nice strong burn in the back of that hip. I showed this on the other video, the sciatic video. We just want to make sure when we get in this position, if we are really tight here, that we are not in this position and then we're not twisted over. We've got to make sure that pelvis is nice and flat. We don't want any angulation here. It needs to be nice and flat there. Push, lift, up, and then slowly back. Many times if you do 10 to 15 repetitions of that, and then you go and you sit and you kind of recheck that little screen I showed you, or you stand and kind of rotate and check, lots of times you'll feel like it improved pretty quickly. It just feels easier to do, like the joint was lubricated a little bit. So that's our pigeon stretch or pose, but just with a little modification there. Hope you guys enjoyed that.